last video, I talked about how I use Storify and why I use it to collate my learning resources each week. In this video, I'm going to run you through the nuts and bolts of creating a story on Storify. I'm also going to show you how super simple it is to share your stories in a number of places once you've curated the material together on Storify. This semester, I had a team of 3 teaching staff and also a project officer assisting me with creating resources for the unit. So what we did this semester is, instead of using my personal Storify account, we set up a Gmail address for the unit code, and then we created a Storify account for the unit. So this allowed us to have multiple people building the stories in a single account space. So all of the stories for INN 333 appear here on the INN 333 Storify account. Now let's have a little look at how we go about assembling these stories. When you want to create a new story, you just click on the New Story button. Now Storify is super duper simple to use, so all you need to do to get started is come up with a headline. I'm going to call this example story, very creative, and I'm going to enter a description of this is an example story. And then what we start to do is pull in links from around the web. Now, I've got some things open in tabs here that I'm just going to randomly put into this story. So here we go. Here is an article that I've been meaning to read that I've had open. So I'm copying the URL. I'm going to Storify. I'm clicking on the embed URL icon at the right of the screen and just pasting in that URL. So when the screen refreshes, it will bring me up a result, and I just drag it and drop it into the story. Let's try another one. And again, I'll just paste that in and hit return. And again, the resource comes up and I just drag it to where I want it. If I want to add text before or after any item, I simply click and I can add text here. If I want to move it, I just grab the little grey box and drag it to where I want it. Now, if you, like me, are pedantic and you want to include banner graphics for your stories, you simply create those graphics and then find somewhere to upload them to. In my case, I use Flickr. So here are some of my banners. To put one in Storify, all I need to do is just click on the image. Then the image will open up. I'll grab that URL, go back to my story, paste the URL in, and drag the image over to the top of the story. Once I'm finished editing the story, I can publish it. You can also save them for later. So when I publish, Storify gives me a prompt to view and publicize, and when I click on that, I can see what my story looks like. Now, because there's only one image in this story, it has picked up that image and made it the header. But if this wasn't the image that I wanted to be the header, I could simply click on this icon here and it makes it a header. Then I can do a couple of things with it. I can click on these dots, which will allow me to make some changes or share. So if I want to share it via Twitter, I simply click on the Twitter icon. And then Storify gives me a link and some tweet text, and I can then just add in a hashtag for my unit code and click tweet. Okay, I can also do the same thing with Facebook. So I'll just close out of that and I'll show you how to get the embed code. You simply click on this embed icon, the code comes up, you copy it, then you head over to wherever you want to embed it. Let's go to Blackboard. I'll open up one of my sites Let's just whack it onto the learning resources folder as an example. I need to turn the edit mode on. I'll add an item. Flick to the HTML view. Paste the code in. Click update. Submit to finalize the item. Oops, I forgot to give it a name. I'll call it week 1 story. And submit. And I'll scroll down to the bottom where the story is now embedded. Students can look at it here, or they can click through to Storify and view it on Storify. So it's as simple as that. Storify is a great place to collate or curate all your resources together, and it allows you to push that content out in a variety of places without duplicating the effort of curating the resources in more than one place.